give it to you, which is Bach. Really nice guy.
Oh yeah, certainly. What we're going to see now, though, is the knife round. Again, not really too important the way this one goes, just because of the fact that Cash is one of the more balanced maps in the rotation. But still, I'm sure both teams want to get the side that they are most familiar on, so they have their own drive to win it. That's going to be a successful win for Royal Flush 7, though. The more experienced team looks like they're going to stick on their side. CT, definitely Cash, a bit of a CT-sided map, but not as much as an Inferno or a Train. We should be looking at a 9-6 half here if both teams are performing at their best.
Definitely. So, as we everybody gets readied up, I'm really interested to see over on OnyX's team, or actually no, it would be over on Royal Flush 7, Sly, who used to be on Wusa, who just competed in a few tournaments. I don't know if they were at Philadelphia, but they were casted. I saw them in a match on GoRGN over the weekend. So they do. I believe they have main experience. I don't remember exactly what league they competed in, but Wusa was a pretty dominant team last season in CEVO and ESCA. It'll be interesting to see what they can come of this match. As again, we're just waiting for everybody to kind of ready up here.
Yeah, and it looks like that has just happened.
InfoHip, who's on EdgeGamers, was at Philadelphia, and apparently you have a fan there, Mazer.
I'm definitely glad to hear.
So, yeah, readying up here. First round, DE Cash, OnyX versus Royal Flush 7. And here we go, roster rundown really quick of the pistol round. Over on OnyX, we have Color, Eagle, Sly, Chris G, and Funshine. And over on Royal Flush 7, we have Corv, Sneaky, Chaz, M. Reed, and Pink Ninja. So go ahead as we start this pistol round, guys. Put into chat who you believe is going to win, who you think the MVP of the rounds or the entire match is going to be, as we start out this pistol round.
Yeah, this will definitely be interesting to watch here. We're going to see G with a bit of an early on counter boost. He's going to be able to find one nice kill on the Corv. That's going to be a nice early run advantage for the counter-terrorist side. Extender buy-up from them, a set of armor and one defuse kit. Definitely a good kind of all-around jack-of-all-trades setup, especially when you're dealing with a 5-on-4 situation.
Bomb is going to be down in the entrance into A main, as they are slowly making their way to set up for an A take. Funshine is the only one on the A bomb site. You have Color over by Truck, just setting up, waiting for somebody to peek out. And they are really taking their time here. A minute left on the clock. Plenty of time to get stuff done. But they are making sure no noise is coming through the other team's speakers right now, as they are setting up to execute onto the site.
Yeah, this is a bit of an odd execution, though. They're all stacked up in the squeaky area. That's definitely not something that you'd usually want to do. You'd want to attack from two angles. Funshine, though, capitalizing off this. He's able to find two. Color able to pick up the third. Funshine closing out the round, and that's the pistol on the board for OnyX. Definitely a crucial round and a good way to start out the game.
Definitely. Definitely a very nice start to the round for OnyX. On this first CT side, they were landing those headshots left and right. And they're going to go ahead and buy up partially here. We have a couple P90s, some FAMASs, as we head into the second round. Bomb is going to be over in the hands of Chaz with a Tech 9, a Deagle, and a couple other, another Tech 9. Nade's going to come and do a lot of damage. Eagle's going to find the first kill, gets a second, goes for the third, but he cannot capitalize on it. Corv drops him. Corv finds the second, but OnyX again. Funshine with that FAMAS, dropping two, and that's going to be another quick round in the books for OnyX. As I believe Mazer is currently fixing his mic. I know he's still getting used to the new mic. Those things are pretty touchy when it comes to boost and all that good stuff. So once he fixes that and gets it all tested out, we'll bring him back in here. Heading into the third round. And again, OnyX buying up, and they saved a couple rifles and the P90s for the last round. Over on T, they full saved here. Corv did buy a P250, or P2000 actually, but he's going to get dropped early by Color with a P90. But Royal Flush 7 does do some damage, dropping Sly over there. And Eagle's going to come up from behind, pick down Ninja. And it's only down to Sneaky. He's going to get dropped by Chris G, and that's going to be another round for OnyX. And a bye round coming up for Royal Flush.
Yeah, solid round from OnyX there, but they're definitely going to have to worry about now. They should be going into the first gun round, and here's the true test of skill, whether OnyX has just been winning to luck on the pistol and then economic advantage on the subsequent 2 rounds. This is the true test of skill right here, with both teams with full rifles.
So much better, by the way.
Yeah, awesome.
So heading into this 4th round, and we have rifles over on Royal Flush's side. And they're just splitting up right now, looking for any type of openings as we get into this 4th round. No ops yet to come out. Waiting for that on the CT side. As I look at their economy, they're just, let's see, Funshine has enough money. They're going to wait it out, though. They're going to wait a couple rounds. They know this is the first rifle round for Royal Flush 7. And it's interesting to see Color still sticking with that P90, going to spray and pray with that thing. And it seems like no kills yet. We do have some damage over on OnyX's side. And we have the first kill coming in from Chaz with the AK over on Color. Bomb is going to be picked up in the hands of M. Reed as they set up for another A-take. As they set up for their set smokes.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice advantage for the terrorist side to have the first pick. The counter-terrorists spreading their resources very thin. There are only 1 person on the B side. Unfortunately, though, the terrorists don't have quite the read on the situation that they might want, as they are setting up still for an A take. Could backfire on them.
Yeah, flashes are coming in. They got held back there quite a bit. That's going to have time for OnyX to get set up. But Pinkman comes in early, finds one, finds a second, but Christie answers right back, taking down Corv. Bomb is going to be in the hands of M. Reed as it gets planted on the A bomb site. It's down to a 4-on-2. Eagle and Sly, the only one left. Sly getting taken down by Sneaky, and that's all up to Eagle, and he's going to go ahead and opt to save his M4.
Yeah, that little economic boost that they're going to have heading into the next round will be nice. Between Funshine and Eagle now, they should be rich enough that they can split rifles amongst their teammates and come up with a buy round going into the 5th round. And that's definitely a nice situation to be in. Try to take back the economic advantage, especially as the terrorists are building up a bit of a money boost right now.
I have my in-game chat on, and I hear them talking little trash talk amongst the teammates there. And Eagles, interestingly enough, he pushed very far back and almost saw Emery there. That would have been really interesting to see if he could have killed them after the bomb went boom. That's going to be a round on this side of Royal Flush. Going into this 5th round, 3-1.
Not a bad scoreline so far. You have to remember Cash being the CT-sided map that it is. The terrorists putting up 1 round so far is absolutely fine. You'd want at least 5 going into the second half. That's 5 terrorist-sided rounds, and any more than that is just a bit of a bonus.
Op coming out over on OnyX's side. It's going to be in the hands of Funshine. And again, this Royal Flush 7 splitting up quite a bit. Just looking for any type of push. Waiting to set up for their bomb site take. They're just waiting to see if anybody has the courage to push right here. But OnyX they're playing very passively. They're staying in their positions, waiting for the bomb site take to come out. And I really like how they're playing right now. They're not being too cocky. They're just playing their spots.
But yeah, that's definitely what you want to do on the counter-terror side. If you look at the money coming out across the board now, it's all very low. Not a single player with 2K in addition to their weapons. And one of the kind of, rule of thumbs for the CT side in any map on CSGO is that you never want to push unless you have the economy to back it up should you go down. Otherwise, you're just taking an unnecessary risk.
Power's going to push through the smoke in mid, and he's going to get taken down by Corv with the AK. But he's going to get that information of where the bomb is. Chaz is going to drop another one over on Sly. So it's down to a 5-on-3. And Sneaky, another AK headshot into Chris G. It's down to a 5-on-2 right now. And it looks like the smartest thing to do right now would be to, well, Eagle might want to try to get that op as Funshine was dropped. And the bomb's going to go down. And no, Eagle's going to save his M4. That's going to be another point on the board for Royal Flush 7.
Yeah, the big green gun, definitely always something you want to have in your pocket. Unfortunately, Eagle here not able to grab it for his team. The M4 will be a nice economic boost, but unfortunately, it's going to be a bit of a mixed buy next round no matter what you do because the CT economy is still very weak. Eagle, though, just missing out on spotting out a terrorist, but he is going to walk right into Ninja there and be able to take him down with a quick headshot. Chaz
they're
looking to trade it out. Yeah, they're absolutely on the hunt. If you take a look at the terrorist side money, they can afford a death right now, but not even a single death going to come in. Chaz going to be able to take down Eagle, and now Terra side, 4 up. That's a very clean win for them, and they've taken the only rifle out of the side of the CT, so that's going to be surely an eco round for them.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Just want to let you know, at 1,250 followers, we will be giving away a Stat Track M4A1S Hyper Beast. So if you want to toss us a follow, we do giveaways at follower milestones. So at 1,500, we'll also be giving away a $50 Steam gift card to one of our lucky followers. So make sure you click that follow button. We'll be bringing you more CS comp action pretty much every day that we possibly can. So we'll be here as much as we can to bring you some awesome CS action. And as we head into the 6th round, 3-2, your current scoreline, OnyX having that 1-round advantage over Royal Flush 7. The bomb is going to be in the hands of Corv, and they did have to save there over on OnyX. And they're doing a nice 3-2 split here. And again, Royal Flush 7 looking for anybody to push. They probably know that they're on a save here, so they were kind of expecting some type of push. Nothing
yeah,
really
save definitely really popular to push, but they are playing a bit more aggressively. Sly here in this nice hidden spot behind Corv. That's great for him, but Corv not having any of it, being able to flick around and take down Sly with a nice easy AK spray, and you can see in the in-game he's not very happy there. But that's going to allow the terrorists free entry onto the A bomb site. Both counter-terrorists that were playing there are down. Eagle going to be able to find himself a kill and therefore a rifle, but at this point it's a 2-on-4. One of your players doesn't have a rifle, and there's no armor on the counter-terrorist side whatsoever. A save is almost certainly the best idea here. It will be interesting to see how they play this one out, for sure.
Jazz is going to spy color there. He almost got taken down. But, wow, Eagle's actually finding 2 kills here. Bomb is taken away. He doesn't really have a chance here, but he can pick up some kills, do some economic damage, and he's actually going to get it. But unfortunately, he won't have the time to run over and defuse the bomb. So nice try by Eagle, but that's going to be a tying round for Royal Flush.
Yeah, that's definitely the one bad thing about this, right? If you're Royal Flush, you're down all of your players. That's some serious economy damage there. We're going to see they're still up by quite a bit of money, but if they lose the next 2 rounds, which is a legitimate possibility considering that they will be buy rounds for the counter-terrorists, you're going to be in a troublesome situation. That's definitely not ideal.
So heading into the 7th round, 3-3 all tied up, and we knew this was going to be a damn good match heading into this, so I'm really excited to see how this plays out as we head into the 7th round. Rifles on both teams. Again, Royal Flush splitting up, and Sly's actually pushing up pretty far up in mid, but that smoke is kind of making him hang back. He has Funshine behind him with that up, so nobody comes over boost. Bomb is going to be down right at the entrance into A main. That's really interesting to see what OnyX is doing over on the A bomb site. Color kind of backing off there for a second, but they're going to go ahead and spread 2 onto A.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of an acceptable default setup on Cash, where you have 1 counter-terrorist on one site and then 2 up in mid. That's definitely important because Cash, mid-control on Cash, it's probably one of the most important maps to have mid-control on, just because on the A-bomb site you really cannot watch A-main or Squeaky and Highway at the same time. You're effectively having to watch your front and back at the same time, and that's an impossible proposition.
Yeah, mid-control, definitely a huge thing here on this map. Sneaky finding 1, Eagle answering right back with his own kill, but Pink finding Eagle. Down to a 3-on-3, a slide with that N4 finds Pink. Chaz dropping another one. They're just trading kills back and forth here. Bomb's going to go down on B, as Funshine is up on boost there. And wow, actually Chris G spins around, finds Sneaky, so it's down to a 2-on-2. This is very doable for OnyX, as that's Funshine and Chris G over on OnyX versus Corv and Chaz, who's down to 21. Corv going to find 1 Chris G, and that's the only man left is Funshine. With that op, he's going to find 1. It's a 1-on-1. Op versus AK. Bomb is taken away, and Chaz is going to find the AK headshot, bringing another point for Royal Flush.
Yeah, definitely on your terror side, it's always good to start securing rounds early, and that's exactly what Royal Flush is doing. 4 rounds, like I mentioned earlier, 5 is really the cutoff that they want to be at, and going up against an eco, or at the very least a quasi-buy from OnyX, 5 rounds shouldn't be a problem here. I'd honestly be shocked if they lost this one.
So heading into the 8th round, 4-3 your score line. Op coming out on Royal Flush, and Color picking up a CZ over there on OnyX's side. And it seems they're playing, like you said earlier, save round, play a little more aggressively. We have Color pushing through smoke over on A main, Slide pushing very far up in mid. And Chaz with that op is going to go ahead and put down Color really quick. Chris G moving into his position.
Yeah, this is definitely a nice setup from the T's, getting a little bit of map control. The counter-terrorist side, though, looking just a tad too stretched out, but unfortunately that's bound to happen when you're down a player. Reed here going to try to flash out, get some mid control. With the help of Sneaky going over the boost, shouldn't be too difficult. Sneaky going to be able to come out and find Sly, who's pushed up a little bit too far, and drops into that closet position. Can he find the kill on a Funshine, hiding ever so cleverly behind the smoke?
Corv is going to go ahead and spot him. They have pretty much free reign over the B bomb side as soon as they drop Eagle over in Checker. So they're going to get that bomb down. It's down to Chris G with a 5-7, down to 66 health. If he can do just a little bit of damage, maybe drop a player or two. But no, Corv with that AK, long headshot, and it's going to be another round, or excuse me, a round 4. Royal Flush bringing it 5-3.
So I know I keep kind of hammering this point home, but it's definitely an important thing to realize. Royal Flush could lose every single round for the remainder of this half and still be looking at a salvageable T-sided half on a CT-sided map like Cash. So definitely for them, right now it's all just bonus rounds, and I'm sure they're still interested in winning and just making their CT side as easy and as short as possible here, and that's exactly what's going on right now.
So heading into the 9th round, we have 3 players for OnyX in mid. I actually gotta see. Wow, what a freaking boost that was from Chaz. I personally have never seen that type of boost before. That was really interesting over in T spawn, and that's gonna be dropping Chris G with the op. Have you ever seen that, Mazer? I personally haven't.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting strategy coming out there from him, and it's obviously going to pay off really early on. Always nice to see creative little strats coming out like that teams obviously spent a lot of time on coming up with and a lot of time perfecting, and that's going to allow the Royal Flush 7. They're going to be up 3 people here, and now 4 as Eagle is in the 1v5 situation. What can you even do right now, especially as he's across the map from where that bomb's about to go down? Sneaky trying to find a kill onto him.
They're not even planted, man.
They're not even planted. Why would they be? They don't even care. It's a 1v5. There's pretty much no way they lose this, but Eagle, he's trying to carve it out best he can. He's going to be able to drop one on the Sneaky, who's overextending himself ever so slightly. Eagle going to throw out the flashbang, try to work his way into the B-bomb site, but unfortunately Ninja going to be able to just spray him down midair, and that's going to be the 6th round for Royal Flush 7. OnyX, they really can't let any more run away from them.
Unless they have a really strong T side, this is getting pretty interesting for Royal Flush. Like we said, they are first in CEVO-MAIN, currently sitting at 5-0. And I believe OnyX was, what were they, Austin? You said
6, if I remember correctly.
Right? Yeah, sitting at 4-1. So, like I said, we were hoping this was going to be a good match, and it is so far. Unless OnyX can really start stringing some rounds together on CT side. They're on save again. We have a Deagle for Eagle, and a CZ for Color. Eagle gets dropped pretty fast into this round by Pink. Bomb is going to be in the hands of Sneaky.
Yeah, and it's all kind of worked up towards that middle area here. Unfortunately, from the terrorist side, they have no real map control. If the CTs can capitalize this and get information and send out a rotator early on, that would definitely be ideal. But unfortunately, when you're down a man, that's not really the time to start pushing. So they have some interesting decisions that'll have to be made by their strat caller coming up.
The 3 players of OnyX over on the A bomb side. Bomb is still just setting in mid there. They're waiting for that push, but OnyX is again playing pretty smart here, even on a save. Sneaky's going to go ahead and pick up that bomb, and it looks like they're going to go and start making their way slowly for a mid to B take, possibly. 3-6 is your score line. 40 seconds left on the clock. Folks coming out mid.
Yeah, and that'll allow them to work their way right up to Highway. Highway is a hard angle to hold from because really there's no 2 angles to hold it from. But the terror side getting that map control that I talked about earlier, and the bomb going to be slowly weaseling its way over to B, despite the fact that they were worked up in Highway originally. We're going to see lower or a tree room getting smoked out, and that's going to allow Sneaky to get the bomb down. Sly able to find a pick on one, but a 2v4 situation, the counter-terrorist with no rifles and barely any armor. It's still not an ideal situation for them. Sly trying to work his way through CT spawn. Sneaky, though, in the perfect position to be able to tag him down in just a minute. And Chris G just trying to save. Or maybe he's working his way in events, almost able to find one. Chaz able to spray him down with that 5-7 headshot, though. And now Sly, the last person alive with almost no health. He should not be attempting this retake situation, and Sneaky is going to catch him out and punish him for it.
Yeah, so another round for Royal Flush 7. OnyX unfortunately just not being able to string rounds together, even though they were on a save, I will say that. But heading into this 11th round, they are going to buy up here. We have 2 ops coming out, and just some rifles for the others. See what they can do with this double op setup. And over on for Royal Flush, we have an op in Chaz. And they're going to be setting up for, it looks like a quick A take here. They're pushing through smoke. They're coming out fast. Christian and Color's there. Christian going to find one. He's trying to control his spray. He's not going to find a second. Color's going to get taken down by Sneaky, and the bomb is on the site. The other members of OnyX are rotating out. Sneaky finds a second. Looking for a third. Sly, Eagle, and Funshine, the only ones left over on OnyX. Sly down to 1 HP. A fly can land on him and take him out pretty easily. He's actually going to is he going to ninja this? I don't know. No, smoke clears up. And Ninja's going to find a kill into Eagle. Sneaky finding a third kill. But Sly finds an op, but will be shut down by Corvin. That's going to be a round again for Royal Flush 7.
We could see Sly was worked up onto the site, and that's definitely a good position to be in when your team starts the retake, but unfortunately he was left in, I believe it was a 1v3 situation. All of his teammates on highway had just fallen down, left him without support. In a situation like that, the 1v3, you'd want to save the op, but unfortunately Sly was too deep in to quit out, so you have to resort to using your op to economically damage the other team as much as possible, and then just kind of accepting your death. Unfortunately, that's kind of a grim way to put it, but that is how it's going to be. And now the counter-terrorist side, we'll see. They're on a save round right here, and it's on the CT side of a CT-sided map. You really can't let any more rounds run away from you. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. But unfortunately, it looks like that's what they're doing again, is Reed is able to find 2 kills, and now it's a 3-on-5. No armor, no weapons on the CT side.
Saving once again, 5-7s in the hands of Chris and Eagle. Just 3-on-5 bombs in the hands of Chaz. They're still almost all the way back in their spawn. They're playing this extremely slow, and they're going to be slowly making their way in to a main. Funshine's going to be there. Pink Ninja going to find one into Chris G. And it's all down to Eagle and Funshine.
Yeah, Eagle and Funshine here. It would be really smart for them to group up and try to save what they can, but unfortunately Funshine going to be tagged out by Pink Ninja from up highway, and now Eagle, the last man alive. What do you do in this situation? You have nothing worth saving, but then again, you're up against a 1v5. How can you clutch out this situation, especially with only a 5-7?
Right now, between a rock and a hard spot, man. It's just, he's going to go ahead and stay back towards B. But he's going to come face-to-face with Pink Ninja here any moment. Does get the kill on the Ninja, and if he can save this rifle, that'd be great for his team. Reed's going to come through events, and he could find a second kill here. Smoke comes out, finds the second kill, but they're closing. All 3 members, the rest of them are closing in fast. Corv is going to find a nice headshot on the Eagle, and that's going to be another round for Royal Flush 7.
Yeah, it's really looking up for them. 9-3 on their counter-terrorist side, definitely in a map. Excuse me, on their terrorist side, definitely in a map that leans towards the CT sides. But for OnyX, you know, they have to start thinking about the best way to put rounds on the board, and quickly. They're going to be able to buy up. Double op setup, always an interesting thing to see how they will employ those 2 ops in this situation, like one peeking mid and the other on truck or in vents. Definitely a good idea.
We're going to have 2 in mid. Chad's going to find an early kill into Chris G with that op on boots. The T's are going to have control over mid slightly, but no Color and Sly finding some kills, so it's down to a 4-on-3. Chaz is tagged down to 45, and Bomb is going to be in the hands of Corv. They do move out into mid. We have Eagle peeking slowly. The Flash is going to come out. Could have utilized that, but unfortunately it's not going to be able to. Chaz down to 45. Bomb going to be tossed out in the mid as Corv is in Vince right now. Sly is just, he's waiting patiently over on the B website, B bomb site. For a push here. Orv and Sneaky are in mid. Chaz and A main looking to see if he can make any picks, and they're going to be slowly making their way up highway. But Eagle, Color, and Funshine are already there waiting for the rotation. Color's going to come out, but no, Sneaky's going to drop him. Funshine with that op finds a kill into Sneaky, down to a 3-on-2, 2-on-1 as kills are exchanged, and Chaz is the last one left over on Royal Flush 7. Flashes out, but Eagle turns around, spins around, and will kill Chaz with that M4. And that's going to be a round finally in the books for OnyX.
Yeah, that is a round for OnyX, but you have to be asking yourself the question now, is it too little, too late? It is just the first half, though. If they can put, let's say, 5 rounds on the board, 5 is kind of my number in general. If you can get 5 rounds in the first half, then the next half is doable. It might not be very likely, but it is doable. And OnyX should be able to get at least their 5 rounds at this point in time, as long as they play their cards right. Heading into this situation, unfortunately, though, Chaz, with quite the quick scope, able to shut down Eagle right in his tracks and give every possible advantage to the Terra side, excuse me, going into this half.
Yeah, Sly answering right back, though, with his own op kill into Chaz. So it's down to a 4-on-4. Bomb is going to be in the hands of Corv, and again, they're playing very passively. It looks like the first 45 seconds of every round, just looking for any types of push and setting up for their bomb site take here. Funshine over on A's might be able to see the bomb here in the moment. We have Sneaky and Squeaky. They're setting up for some smokes on A. So Squeaky's gonna open up, gonna smoke out, and Funshine
what
now.
What a nice smoke.
Yeah, definitely. Funshine now has to reposition himself for this push.
Yeah, it is a good setup by them, especially a good read on the situation, considering how little counter-terrorist presence there is in the site. Color tries to find a kill, only barely manages, has to fall back. Sneaky able to find him and trade it out. Chris G, though, he makes it up to the site and he finds a quick 2. Funshine closes it out. A round that should have very easily gone to Royal Flush 7. OnyX instead snatches away. In the last 3 seconds of it, the whole balance changes.
Yeah, Kilroy in chat. I scouted Mazer. You're welcome. So, again, if you're just joining us, Mazer here, casted at Fragadelphia, and we're lucky enough to be graced with his presence here on EdgeGamers.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely always fun to help out with the community, and I love watching CEVO-MAIN matches. I do actually have a lot of friends who compete in the league, none in this match, but still fun to scout out the talent.
So heading into this 15th round, 9-5 your scoreline. Funshine with an op is going to find Ninja. Answers right back, though, from Sneaky's AK, and kills are just being exchanged here. It's down to a 2-on-2, as the bomb is going to be planted quickly. Oh no, he gets flashed, actually, and slides over by Truck. He will be smoked out, and that's going to be an opportunity for the bomb to go down. Sneaky with that AK will find Color, and it's down to a 2-on-1, with Slide the last one left on OnyX.
He is able to find a kill, though. That's going to be pretty close to equalizing it. He is, like I said, going to need to try to pad this half as well as he can. The next one going to be very difficult for them, and Sly doing exactly that. What a nice 5-7 headshot on the Sneaky, accompanied by some nice movement that's going to get him over the bomb and defuse the round and end the half 6-9 in favor of Royal Flush 7. All 9 of their rounds string together in one clump right in the middle there, with OnyX able to grab 3 rounds on either side of that. Definitely an impressive half from both teams.
So 6 rounds over on OnyX, 9 for Royal Flush, and this is doable for OnyX still. However, Royal Flush 7 has just been looking pretty dominant, even on T side, so we're going to have to see how they do on CT as we wait for everybody to ready up. And again, I got to plug this, guys. At 1,250 followers, we will be giving away a stat track M4A1S Hyper-B, so make sure you click that follow button. And again, we want to thank both teams for giving us the opportunity to cast in CEVO, giving this opportunity to cast this great match so far. So, big thanks to all of them, and our very nice director, producer Austin, aka Legend, aka Big Dumb Idiot, as I like to call him.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah, man. You're welcome, buddy. I love you too, man. Yeah, 115 followers away. Easy peasy, squeezy lemons, right, Hippo? What I'm talking about, man. 69 your score line going into the second half.
Yeah, definitely a good way to start for both teams here. Not too far run away for either side. It is going to be, though, like I mentioned earlier, kind of a pretty standard buy from the counter-terrorist side. A set of armor and 1 defuse kit The terrorists, though, they have a lot more utility than you'd expect on a pistol round. Be interesting to see if they're trying to do some kind of execution with that.
So first round, second half, Reed is going to try to flush his way in. He does succeed, but it's able to really put any good damage. He will push in again and will find one. Finds a second as he spins around. But Eagle with that Glock is going to answer back. Funshine also finding a kill of his own. Down to a 3-on-3. Bomb is going to go down on the A bomb site as Corv, Chaz, and Ninja are on their way over to A. That smoke is kind of hindering him here. They're kind of shooting it out with Chris G here and still no kills yet. But Ninja's going to find one. Funshine answering back. It's down to a 1-on-2. At a 2-on-none as Ninja will find that kill. And that's going to be a round for Royal Flush. Picking up the pistol round on CT.
Yeah, nice calm retake for them. They're able to get the defuse without too much trouble. Corv, the player with the kit that he managed to pick up from his dead teammate, sealing out that round rather quickly. Got to keep in mind with that pistol round, Royal Flush 7 has no reason to not get the 2 rounds after that. And at a 12-6 scoreline, OnyX here, they've got to be panicking just a little bit.
So heading into the 17th round, 10-6 as Royal Flush is able to pick up. Royal Flush 7 is able to pick up that pistol round, and they will have a mixed buy going into this round. And OnyX with that slow A push right now, as they're just walking. We have 3 and Squeaky, 2 and A main. That smoke's gonna kind of push them back there for just a few seconds. We have Sneak and Emreed over on the bomb site waiting for the push. We have Chaz, Ninja, and Corv over by B and mid. That flash is going to, again, just push them back a couple seconds. Smoke's going to come out. They're executing onto the site. Emreed's going to find one. Color answers back, though. Emreed finds a second, finds a third. But Eagle with that CZ will take him down to a 3-on-2. But OnyX has done some pretty good economic damage here on Royal Flush.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not what we would call a clean round with only 2 players left up. Economy is going to be a little weak, but should still be good enough for them to put up a buy, which is, you know, even if it's just a half buy, it's all you really need against OnyX, who should be stuck on an eco due to their force buy in this last round. They might be able to put up a couple of guns on the board, a couple of AKs here and there, and that's exactly what they're doing. A lot of utility on the board as well. Bit of a misread there, but it is going to be rifles versus rifles here, and with all the economic damage that was done to the CT side, a couple of FAMASas on the board and no AWP, that's got to be concerning for them.
Going into this 18th round, 11-6 is your scoreline. Again, 3 FAMASas over there. And wow, that spam actually through mid there does take down Chaz to 75. So interesting to see that they were able to utilize that so well. And OnyX is going to be splitting up, trying to find an opening here. And only Emreed over on A. We have 2 in mid, Corv up in the vents, and Pink Ninja over on B. This says it looks like it's shaping out to be a slow round, as both teams know they have rifles. They're playing this very, very, very cautiously.
The first gun round of the half, always very important. The team that wins is essentially relegating the other team's economy down extremely low, that it's very easy to break them in the subsequent round. Both teams, I'm sure, very concerned with running away with this round, and it's definitely showing as both are kind of methodically, the terrorist side trying to gain that map control, and the CTs just holding their spots and not getting too ridiculously aggressive.
Corv is up in vents right now, and I think he's going to find Color. He does! Finds a second one as well.
What a good kill from him. That's absolutely insane positioning. It's going to make it able for him to find 2 kills and drop back down into the B bomb site. Great play from him.
This is a little PSA. If you're wanting to cast, make sure to have lots of water near you.
Absolutely.
Your throat does get dry awfully quick. Corv finding the kill into Funshine. Bomb is still, it's actually down in mid here, so they lost the bomb in that process. Emreed with that FAMAS. Gonna find Christine. It's all down to Eagle right now with that AK.
In the 1v4 situation, though, what can you do? Just run away with it, maybe get a couple of exit frags, but unfortunately for him, his team's money is so low, you really, this round should be a win for you. Unfortunately, not able to quite secure it, and it looks like a pause is going to come in from Corv. I have to imagine that's a technical issue. Royal Flush 7 up quite a few rounds. Not too much to talk about at this point.
Yeah, God. if they were calling it for, you know, a tactical lens, just bad manner. BM pause.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be a nice time for OnyX to talk about what's going on, though. Kind of re-evaluate everything. They've lost all rounds in this half, including the gun round, so it should be a nice, you know, time for them to say, all right, look, we're going into an eco here, but after that we need to come back, and we need to come back swinging, because Royal Flush 7, they're going to be up 13 rounds, and that is so dangerously close to match point. We really do need to finish this out.
Yeah, I was about to say, if anything, this this pause over on Royal Flush 7 is just benefiting OnyX possibly, giving them time to just chill out and be like, all right, what are we doing wrong here? Let's talk out some strats. Let's get something working here, because, like you said, Royal Flush 7 is kind of just running away with us right now, up 6 rounds, heading into the 19th round. So we're still paused here, and I've seen quite a few Royal Flush 7 fans, supporters in the chat. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. The CEVO-MAIN Season 9 OnyX versus Royal Flush 7 Best of 1.
Yeah, and Chaz finally calling in for the ready. It looks like the unpause is about to come out. The T side here, unfortunately, they're so it's such a weird buy from them. Eagle kind of going rogue and buying up quite a bit. He's low on $600. Again, not truly a buy up. He brought that all in from the last round and was not able to get a loss bonus here. If Eagle can't keep this rifle with him going into the next round, and they lose this round, which is definitely incredibly likely, he's going to be in a lot of trouble, simply because of the fact he won't be able to match his team.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what happened there. Maybe just a misclick, as that nade thrown does do quite a bit of damage. Eagle down to 75, Color down to 60. They're all pretty much tagged except Sly from that nade. They're going to go ahead and come out onto the B bomb side, but Pink Ninja and Corv are just doing work. Christy going to find one. Taz dropping down, finds another, and finds I think that's his second kill. So, yeah, that's just a slaughter right there for Royal Flush. Picking up another round here, 13-6.
Yeah, and I think it's at this point where that pause kind of comes into effect here. Whoever calls strats on OnyX should have been telling his team, look, we need to have quite the plan going into this next round after the eco, because if we don't, we're going to get absolutely dumpstered on, and that'll be the game over here. But no reason to give up at this point in time. Not just yet.
They're going to get dumpstered on. I like that. Heading into the 20th round, 13-6 your score line. As really interesting, they had nobody on B there for Royal Flush 7. They were all kind of mid. Pink Ninja does make his way back. It's going to be a, let's see here, 2-2-1, as we have 2 in mid, and they're going to boost up and find Sly with that AK. Chaz is going to prop himself up in vents, and that's going to be a man advantage for Royal Flush, but Color over on OnyX tagged down to 27 HP, so this is not a really good start for the 20th round for OnyX.
Yeah, no, down a man is definitely not what you want to see, but it's still a very winnable situation for OnyX. Crazier things have happened, especially recently, but they are going to have to play this incredibly smart, and that looks like exactly what they're doing, trying to get map control information. Definitely a smart idea, spreading out and playing it slow. A Molotov going to come out into that quad area, unfortunately not quite able to reach the counter-terrorist playing there. That would be Reed. And just kind of a lot of utility being pressured around the map. It looks like Sneaky's going to rotate around towards that middle area and just try to maintain a control of that, which is always smart.
2 players of OnyX pushing up mid here slowly. They only have 25 seconds left here. They have to make a move really quickly. They're going to run out of time. And Funshine's going to find that opportunity, knocking down Corv over on the A-bomb site. And they're going to make their way. They're finding kills left and right. It's already down to a 4-on-2. As Funshine with that op finds another. Bomb's going to go down on the A-bomb site. Color with that AK is going to find Ninja. It's all down to Chaz, who's slowly making his way over towards Squeaky.
This would be an absolutely insane clutch. I'd love to see it go through, but at this point, going for exit frag is definitely the smarter and more likely play to come out, but still a man can dream for an absolutely insane 1v4, right? Chaz in a good position to be able to find a frag onto Chris G, though, and that's exactly what happens. He's done the economic damage. He has to reposition, or maybe even just skedaddle away, get out of there, because the bomb is about to explode, and then the terrorists are going to be hunting in full swing. Chaz, though, able to find a second. That is the very definition of economic damage, especially with his own money piling up.
Yeah, that's going to be around in the hands of OnyX finally, as they're able to put the bomb down, make it go boom on A. But again, those two people who kind of just ran away were taken down, and that's going to be some money loss for them. So heading into the 21st round of this best-of-1 series, OnyX setting at 7, Royal Flush 7 setting at 13.
Yeah, OnyX putting up that last round is the only thing keeping them in the game, but they're still hanging on by a thread here. Royal Flush only needs 3 rounds to run away with it, and they've gotten quite a few more than that in the past, especially right in a row. Looks like Chris G, though, is lining up for a quad smoke. That's a good setup for his team to get out on A, especially considering Reed with the op in quad. It's almost a necessary smoke at that point in time. Reed, though, still able to find a kill on the color, and then he has to fall back. The smoke coming in much too late. And now there's still 2 people on the A bomb site, and the terrorists are walking into a 4-on-2 situation while the bomb site is being held. Reed, absolutely insane on the op, able to find a kill on a Funshine. Now it's going to be a 3-on-4 situation. Eagle in the retake, equalizing that situation out. Now it's the 3-on-3, but still, both teams with the rifles. The counter-terrorists have to move in for this retake very quickly. Reed saying it was all luck, but definitely quite a bit of skill demonstrated on his end. Corv moving up, trying to find a frag onto Sly, who's playing forklift. He does, but not only after Sly is able to find one of his teammates. Now it's the 1-on-2 situation. Pink Ninja, the last CT alive. This is still winnable for him as he takes down Eagle. The last player lit, but he's looking at Highway, and Chris G is playing on default. I guess he was playing on 4x3 because there's no other possible explanation for him not seeing the counter-terrorists in the default spot. And that's going to be Royal Flush 7. No traction gained from them as OnyX starts to gain ground.
So round in OnyX's favor here, 8-13. Still got a little ways to climb, but they are slowly making that progress here as we head into the 22nd round. And 4-0 Flush 7 is forced to save here. Sneaky will buy a deagle here, and that's actually going to be a nice kill for Corv. Chris G answering right back, though, with that AK headshot into Corv, equaling out the teams here, 4-4, 4v4.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind, Royal Flush 7, they are only on pistols and barely any armor. It's still going to be tough for them to win this situation.
I want Sneaky to come out with just some massive 1-digs here.
That would definitely be quite the sight to see, though. Reed, the man of the match, playing B all by himself, and it does look like the terrorists are scouting that out. He has to be strong here. Kind of odd that we're not seeing like a bit of an eco stack coming out from the CT side, but whatever works, especially because on an eco you're kind of bound to lose anyway. Kind of depressing to say, but it's the truth.
OnyX is going to go ahead and throw some smokes in mid. Christian's going to hang back here and is going to find somebody pushing through. That's Chaz. So it's down to a 4-on-3. Emery, the only person on B. So like you said, he's got to be strong here. They don't see him just yet. He's playing very smart, but unfortunately will be taken down by Color. It's only Sneaky left with his deagle. And I was really, really hoping he was just going to push in and just 1-dig.
It's not too late. It's never too late.
360, 1-dig, a few faces, but he's just going to save that deagle. And that's going to be another round for OnyX here.
Yeah, another round on the board for OnyX. Royal Flush has to be shaking a little bit, but the eco went as bad as well as most ecos do. And basically, as long as they can take back the gun round after that, they should still be fine. And I'm sure that's what's going through all their minds, especially considering Sneaky has managed to grab the AK from Eagle and save that.
So the bomb is going to go boom, and that's going to be a point on the board again for OnyX, bringing it 9-13. As again, they're climbing that ladder, man. They're making their way back up, and like we said, this is turning out to be the match I hoped it to be. It's really fun to watch these two teams compete right now.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is. Definitely, the score I don't think is quite as reflective of how close these matches have been. The only thing that I think I have a complaint for, as in terms of both teams, is that both teams are able to get a pick at the beginning of the round and not really capitalize off that pick, which is something OnyX and Royal Flush 7 just have to start working on. Funshine, though, with a quick boost, he's going to be able to find a kill on the Chaz, just completely ignoring the molly at his feet, and it looks like on the A-bomb site, Reed's being set up for a boost onto that Shroud spot. Definitely always a fun spot to play, especially as the terrorists who look like they're setting up for an A-take. Will they remember to check this extremely uncommon spot?
I don't know if you noticed that, but I think they were going for an A rush there, but somebody left the bomb back in T-spawn, so Sly had to run all the way back and pick it up, forcing them to just slow it down a bit. So, interested to see what this boost will come of for Royal Flush 7, as Emreed is boasted up there.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see.
Waiting for that 8 take here.
With Reed up on the boost, that'll mean...
They don't see him!
Oh, they don't see him. They're going to walk right past him. Reed going to be able to find 1-2. Oh my god, Reed with the slaughter. Sneaky helping him clean up. And unfortunately, as I was about to say before Reed just went absolutely ham, was the terrorist side lost this round because they didn't have the coordination to bring the bomb with them for the A-rush. That's what gave Reed time to position. Funshine whiffing a shot twice in a row, and that's going to bring him down to Corv's frag grenade. Royal Flush 7 at that 14 scoreline. OnyX got to be shaking just a little bit. The comeback could be real, but it will be difficult.
Yeah, that boost spot, man, like you said, very uncommon, but when utilized correctly, that was devastating for OnyX. If he wasn't up in that boost spot, I believe that would have been a round in the bag for OnyX. But
look at the force buy; it's so broken here. 3 rifles and the CZ and the Tech 9. That's not the ideal lineup whatsoever, especially at the scoreline. But that is truly the buy of desperation. This is not a good situation for OnyX whatsoever.
And you know they had that conversation. Do we want to go for the Type 1 or do we want to go for the win here?
Yeah.
It looks like they want to go for the win. So this could be the round that makes or breaks OnyX as we head into the 24th round. 14-9 your scoreline. As again, OnyX with a broken bye. And they're playing you can see how cautiously they're playing too. They don't want to lose this round.
Yeah, absolutely. Losing this round would definitely put you in such a tight situation, both economically and just score-wise, that you've got to be incredibly careful. And it does look like they're kind of taking my advice here. The only thing is, especially at this main level, you almost never see a good, solid default coming out on most maps. Honestly, at this point, you'd want to have control of B-main, warehouse, and A-main and squeaky, and they only have like 2 of the 5 things that I mentioned here, and that's going to be a big problem. Reed, though, on the catwalk, he loves those high places. Unfortunately, not shooting in the right spot because he is flashed out. He is able to find a kill, though, and that's going to be a 2-on-4 situation. Funshine in color. The desperation is palpable, especially as Chaz is able to find one more. 3-on-1 here. Funshine, the last person left alive to clutch it out, not able to make it happen, and now it's a 15-9 scoreline. OnyX looking at 6 match points in a row to come back from this. It's just not seeming very likely at all.
Yeah, and their economy over there is just busted. They're going to have to buy up some Rec 9s and hopefully make some work with those. But this looks like it could be G for OnyX here. They cannot string these rounds together. 25th round, 15 Royal Flush, 9 OnyX. Head into this this crucial round for OnyX. And like I said, a couple of Tech 9s and Sneaky is going to open it up early for Royal Flush, taking down color.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's going to be the 5-on-4 situation. Only pistols in the hands of the terrorist side, and they have to win this or it's GG. So I'm sure they're going to try to do whatever they can. Unfortunately, though, like I keep mentioning, no default, no map control coming out from them, and absolutely no information as to where the counter-terrorists are set up, and definitely not a single pick on the board for them. So tough situation, especially when you're going up against a counter-terrorist team that has all the utility in the world, a full set of defuse kits.
Yeah, no picks, not even some damage over there. So they're going up against the Goliath right now. I really wanted to use that term, so I did. Here we go. Bomb is going to be in the hands of Chris G, and they're going to be executing onto the B-bomb side. Sneaky is setting in Vince. He's going to find 2 quick kills, but Funshine's going to shut him down with the Tech 9, and it's all down to Funshine.
Sneaky, though. Sealing it out for his team. That's going to be GG here. Royal Flush 7 finishing it at a 16-9 scoreline, protecting their first in the league standing right now. A crazy match by them, especially from Sneaky with his absolutely insane, almost get-right-like positioning, and Reed with his stellar obbing.
Stellar obbing. So
there's no better way to put it.
GG's all around there. That was a great match. It was fun.
Absolutely fun to watch. A higher level of CS than you'd expect from a main match. Not trying to insult main teams here, but yeah, that was definitely a tight one.
So Royal Flush 7 beating out OnyX in that first place in CEVO-MAIN Season 9. We want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to EdgeGamers as we bring this cast to a close. Again, I got to plug all the stuff. 1,250 followers, we will be giving away a Stat Track M4A1S Hyper Beast. And at 1,500 followers, we will be giving away a $50 Steam gift card. So, thank you guys so much. Follow, shout out to Royal Flush 7 and both teams, OnyX too, for them allowing us to catch this CEVO also. And Mazer, dude, thank you so much, man. You were a fantastic person to cast with.
Yeah, always fun to tune in. I'd like to say, obviously follow me on Twitter at MazerCSGO, follow my co-caster at SuperBig, and definitely check out at EdgeGamers for more updates on the next time we're going to be live, because this was absolutely a pleasure to cast, and I'd love for you to see it next time.
Alright, with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Thank Pepe Squad. There you go, Austin.